Hey guys, how's it going? Like Butter here, and it's been a super long time since I've done a build video, and seeing that the global event is out again in rotation. This global event is a super fun one for snipers. I want to talk about this build that I put together because a lot of people were asking me on my stream what build this was, and I noticed that I hadn't done a build video, so I wanted to share it with you guys. So this is if you go to commendations, you can see that this is global event outbreak. You can go for like different masks and commendations and stuff if you want to get some cipher key fragments to unlock some of the new cosmetics and whatnot. Really cool. I've been doing some of this stuff just kind of on the side. And I want to share with you guys my Hunter's Faith build because this build is actually capable of hitting for 4.2 million crits. Sometimes it can hit for even more than that with certain circumstances. So I'm going to go through and show you guys my sniper build and tell you guys alternatives to this build if you want to change it up a little bit. So we're currently running on this version 9900 firearms, which is completely overkill. I understand that. You really only need 9,000 firearms with this Hunter's Faith build. So I'm going to show you two different versions of this build that you can use, and you can figure out which version of the build fits you better. So for my primary weapon, you can use anything in the slot. For the most part, I'm really never using my primary. I do have brutal and responsive just in case enemies get up really close to me, especially during this global event with the headshot modifier that you get after killing an enemy. It allows you to basically do huge amounts of crits with your secondary. So just to go through, obviously on a bullfrog you want no type of stability or accuracy whatsoever. It's all pretty straightforward. I don't want to go into too much about the bullfrog because it's all about this Big Daddy M44, and make sure that when you're looking for an M44, it's the custom M44 because the I believe the other one is like, I don't know, there's different versions of the M44, but only the custom allows you to have this many attachments. And we are putting headshot damage on everything. So just to make sure, I don't have a VX1 scope. That's one thing I need is a better VX1 scope. But you want to use headshot damage on your scope, headshot damage on your barrel, crit damage on your underbarrel, or you can use if you want to use a vertical grip here, you can if you want more range. As you can see, the range on the M44 is already nutty. You don't need it. The reason I was using the small grip was just because like there's no reason to have that much range. But if you really want to get the max value out of prepared and you're worried about your range not being long enough, well, there you go. Vertical foregrip or vertical grip will give you a stupid amount of range, and it'll allow you to do max damage at max range. So extended mag, of course, I got crit damage, crit chance on there, and we are going to go in and show you guys the build. So you may be like, why does he have purple mods here? So this is the version of the build where if you have a healer and you have a team and you're going through and you're doing the missions and you have some sort of backup. This isn't a good solo version of this build. I wouldn't recommend it. This is PvE only, and these are firearms mods with 3% damage to elites. You can actually get this. I bought these mods. They're actually for sale right now. Let me make sure that I have the right area for where these are getting sold. Okay, so these are getting sold at the Ward. There are no high-end mods that have damage to elites, so the damage to elites are specific to these purple mods, which is why you're seeing me use them. Now, if you wanted to, you could try to switch this up and maybe, I don't know, use stamina damage to elite mods. If you wanted to get a little bit tankier, you could do that, but there weren't any available, but I'll keep an eye on them in case any do pop up. So, as you can see on my gear here, I don't have a perfect Hunter's Faith chest piece here. Exotic damage resilience, really not that necessary. Really not that necessary. You can put enemy armor damage here. You could put something else here. You don't need exotic damage resilience. So that's something I would need to switch out eventually. I did want to put a little bit of health on though, so I don't get one-shotted. And of course, we're rolling firearms pretty much on everything. On my mask, enemy armor damage and damage to elites. Enemy armor damage and damage to elites are the two most important stats for PvE. Obviously, you guys know, for those of the people who still play PvP in the division, newsflash, you cannot PvP with any set that's not Striker currently in this meta. That's pretty much it. So this is mainly just a PvE build to let you guys have fun with the global event. This global event is perfect for this specific build. So EAD and damage to elites on everything. On my knee pads, I have more health, damage to elites, of course, and also, like I said, same mods, same stats, pretty straightforward. On my backpack, I do have critical hit damage since we're going to be running a little bit more crit chance than normal, which is also going to go with a different version of the build that I'll show you guys in a bit. And then also ammo capacity, make sure to have that, it's pretty important. And then crit chance on my holster. And then completely min-max your build so that you can maximize as much damage as physically possible. Now, you can see over here, if you go to the optimization table, my armor isn't actually maxed here, so I can just like level this up here and optimize it until it's maxed. That will actually get my my mitigation up a little bit more. It won't make too much of a difference, but it'll help, especially with a very high firearms build like this. But they give you so much div tech these days that you can pretty much just level up all these builds and not really worry too much about div tech. And so basically what's going to happen is you're going to get the 20% optimal range, which is another reason why you don't need to run a vertical grip with the M44. Just that extra optimal range is just stupid. It's like way more than you ever need. 10% headshot damage, which is going to help because it's a headshot build. And if the 4-piece bonus with Hunter's Faith is each consecutive shot with a bolt action marksman rifle hits an enemy, deals 3% more damage. The damage bonus is increased by 4% for every 3,000 firearms. So you want to have at least 9,000 firearms with this build. The bonus damage is removed once you miss a shot or weapon swap or reload, right? Then you get more optimal range, which is even more of a reason not to need a vertical grip. And then 10% headshot damage again, so more headshot damage for a headshot build. And then the 6-piece bonus is what makes this build really, really strong. Headshots double the gained increased damage bonus. 2 consecutive missed shots are needed to lose the bonus. So this gives you a little bit of cushion to miss a shot here and there. It's not going to be that big of a deal. And the most important talent on this build, 100%, is one is none. And the reason for that is every time you hit a headshot with Hunter's Faith, you're going to have a 50% chance for it not to consume the bullet, which is going to make your mag size technically larger, which is going to make you have to reload less, which is going to allow you to keep that damage bonus longer and longer. I also run strike back, critical save, and the third one is toss-up. I tried Tactical Advance to get a little bit more damage, but the problem with this is the Tactical Advance bonus kind of runs out, and you don't get the damage boost until after you headshot an enemy. So you can run something else here. You could even run Precision if you wanted, even though I am running a Pulse on my skills, but that's totally up to you. I am running a immunizer, or sorry, a life support box, just because I do play a lot of solo, and these are the most important things. This is going to give you more healing than, you know, using like a first aid or something. If you really want to go crazy and hit some really high damage headshots, you could do booster shot if you really wanted to, but I like running the box more because it allows me to be a little bit more reckless at times. And then I'm also using a Pulse with Pulse critical hit damage mods. This allows me to basically get my headshot damage up a little bit more when I do Pulse, and yeah, it basically just allows you to do more damage pretty much. And that's pretty much it, guys. That's pretty much it. Now, there's a different version of this build, which I'm going to show you right here. If you feel like you're way too squishy with this build and it's too overkill, or you're playing solo, switch out these firearms mods for stamina crit chance mods. So you will still be allowed to get like extra damage, because the crit chance will be a little bit higher, and it goes with that crit damage on your backpack and also like on your front grip and all that other stuff. And this will get you a little bit tankier. I prefer either or. It really doesn't matter to me. I don't notice like a huge difference, so I just use stamina crit chance mods throughout, and you're going to see my toughness is going to go up quite a bit actually. So this is the version I have been running. But like I said, it's completely up to you. I don't even know where my other stamina mod is. There it is. So there you go. You can see my toughness went up to like 400k, and then on this one, I think I might have been using like a firearms mod or something. Yeah, I was using one firearms mod here to get where is my crit chance? I might have went over it. But anyways, you guys basically get the picture. Just make sure you're over 9,000 firearms here. So yeah, this is like a 9,200 firearms version of it. Obviously you want crit chance on this one here, but I can't really find it. I don't want to scroll through it and make the video longer than it needs to be, because you guys pretty much get the idea. So that is it. That is my Hunter's Faith build. I'm going to show some footage here at the end of the video if you want to see how much damage this thing can do. Remember, you're only going to hit over 4 million crits with this build during this modifier, like during this global event. I think without the global event modifier, you end up hitting around 2 mil, 2.5 mil, something like that without with full stacks. I think it can go close to 3 mil. I remember yesterday we were running legendary missions and someone was using Sentry, and with 6 stacks of Sentry, I think I was hitting around 6 million damage crits with this build. So it's a lot of fun, super good build. Hopefully you guys enjoy it. If you did, be sure to drop the video a like, let me know what you guys think, and I will talk to you in the next one. Enjoy the gameplay, guys.
Any civilians you may come across. The map says some of those people must have survived the dollar flu. That means they've got antibodies to it that I need to have a hope in hell of fighting this thing. And the ones who are just sick, having a broader genetic diversity of virus samples will help us track the virus's rate of mutation, which is a long way to say, keep those people alive until I get what I need from them. Got that? Great. Agent, you need to hear this. Faye tells me the cleaners are holding the entire Tent City prisoner.
That's what it looks like, and it fits the cleaner MO.
If you want to see...
Warning. Contamination levels increasing.
You hear that, Agent? You're walking into the teeth of it now. Don't forget what I said about keeping any infected refugees alive. I mean, obviously you're gonna try and keep them all alive, but I need those virus samples, and I really need them.
Okay, Agent. As soon as you lock the situation down, I've got a joint Sarah JTF strike force ready to move in. They'll take samples from as many refugees as they can find.
Medical personnel?
A couple of EMTs in the mix, Doctor? Yes.
A couple? As in only 2?
The rest are...